Hello and welcome everyone. If you didn't understand anything after completing a lot of tutorials in MK11, which are very great, don't worry. This video is made for you to finally figure things out and start outplaying casual players, or at least be above average. Let's start. First of all, learn the notations to be able to read combos. Do not be scared, it's super easy. For keyboard players, 1 is front punch, 2 is back punch, 3 is front kick, 4 is back kick. Here is the notation for dual shock, of course with default settings. Square is 1, the triangle is 2, the cross is 3, the circle is 4. Now for Xbox gamepads. The X is 1, the Y is 2, the A is 3, the B is 4. Simple, right? Now you know the notations. Hooray! All other things are just abbreviations. AMP stands for amplifying, TH stands for throw, KB stands for crushing blow, and FB stands for the fatal blow. Now the directions. D is for down, U is for up, B is for back, F is for forward. I think that's obvious that back means moving from the opponent and forward means moving towards the opponent. Now let's get to MK11 mechanics itself. Dash can be seen in a lot of fighting games, this one is no exception. Executes by pressing forward or back 2 times. Backdash has invulnerability frames on the start of your wake up. You're able to do wave dash in this game, executes by rapidly dashing and cancel it into block. Delayed wake up executes by holding down button when knocked down. Interrupts opponent's timing for setups. Quick hop executes by tapping up. From here you can press any attack button to perform overhead. Flawless block. Very hard to perform, you get minimal block damage, in other words cheap damage. You can execute a counter attack which eats your meter like a wild animal, and you need a human reaction, in my opinion, to do it. Allows you to start juggling, but mostly this option is useless. Meters. Meters are split into defensive and offensive options, with 2 bars for each. They replenish with a different speed that depends on how much of an advantage you got. Amplify performs by pressing the interaction button. Sometimes it depletes defensive, sometimes offensive meter, or even both, depends on what move you want to perform. Some moves also require defensive bars, like Scorpion's teleport cancel. Some moves are very exotic and require both bars without any amplifications, like Kung Lao's orbiting head. The offensive meter is most commonly used for amplifies, about which I've told you just now. The defensive meter is used to perform any sort of defensive moves, obviously. Those moves are: get up roll, requires 1 bar, gives you invulnerability on start and can be done in any direction. Despite all that, you can interrupt it by a simple throw. Breakaway requires 2 bars. This move can only be performed in mid-air to interrupt juggles. You can execute breakaway only when your character is starting to fall, not when you're launched. Important thing. Interactables require 1 bar. 2 bars of offensive meter and 1 bar of defensive meter, if you want to do interactable with armor. Get up attack requires both defensive and offensive meters, 1 bar each. There are 2 get up attacks. Up 2 is used to launch your enemy and start a combo, and up 3 is used to wake up with a normal attack, but this time it has armor. The second option is better because you can catch combo yourself if you try to wake up with up 2. Chip avoided allows you to avoid death. It will take away 1 bar of your defensive meter for 1 hit if you blocked it. Do not confuse with depletion. It literally takes away your meter. Last breath. It is the same thing, but this time it takes away your second bar. The important thing to know is that this will work only if your bar is filled. On the next round, your bars will be restored. Crushing blows. They are hits that will be triggered only when certain conditions are done. There are 2 types of them. First ones grant you with additional damage. Second ones give you an opportunity to start a combo. Every character has its own list of crushing blows. Each of them can be performed only once in a game. If you don't want to do them occasionally, you can enable health check option in your control setting. After that, crushing blows will be performed only when you hold the button down. I recommend you to enable it. You don't want your 30% be wasted on a 5 HP enemy, right? There are 2 universal crushing blows for each character. First one is uppercut. Triggers only when you counter high attack. The second one is a throw. When an enemy tries to escape it for the second time but didn't grasp the side he chose. The forward throw is tagged by pressing 2 or 4, back throws by pressing 1 or 3. Some moves trigger a bleeding effect. This one is simple to understand, the name speaks for itself. The ultimate or super move is called Fatal Blow. You can do it only if you have 300 HP or less. Doesn't require any meter and can be blocked. If you miss it or hit and block, Fatal Blow will go on cooldown for 9 seconds. After that, you can try to do it again, if you will be still alive. You can do only 1 Fatal Blow in a game. You can increase and decrease damage from Fatal Blow. If you performed it, then try pressing button 3 when you see hits striking your opponent. The amount of damage you will add depends on how accurate you press this button. If you got hit by Fatal Blow, you can decrease this damage. Do the same thing. Press button 3 as accurate as you can. The amount of damage reduction also depends on your accuracy. For an attacker, this icon is skull that you can witness under the life bar. For a defender, it is a shield icon. This option is not like super useful, but at least you can do something instead of just sitting and watching. There are 2 types of variations, casual ones that are pre-built by developers or can be created by you yourself, and tournament variations. Of course, on the tournament and ranked place you can use only tournament ones. Because NetherRealm fucked up practice mode a bit, I will teach you how to train tournament variations, because you can just choose them straight on a character select screen. Go to customization, create a new variation, name it however you want. Go to the Abilities tab. Here you will see your button that says Use a preset, press it, and here is the list of presets. The ones with cups are tournament variations. Press Equip preset, save it, go to the practice room and choose it. Quick side note, they added a less painful way to choose tournament variations in practice mode, but that applies only for console versions right now and patch 1.05. All you need to do is go to the practice options, player 1 loadout, scroll left or right, and there is supposed to be tournament variations. They are assigned as T1 and T2, but for now, PC players, we will wait. Mercy. Yes, you can spare your opponent. To perform it, do next. Stand at mid-screen distance, hold L2 or left trigger, teabag your enemy 3 times, release L2 or left trigger, and done. And that's all you need to know. If you do not understand terms, you can find explanation videos on YouTube, or if you want me to do it, then write in the comment section. I already have done character advanced guide about Kung Lao. If you want to know more than just combos on that character, you will find it in my video. I explain everything about him, go check it out, and thanks for watching. Oh, and if this video really helped you, why not leave a like? And subscribe maybe if you don't want to miss that kind of content. See you next video. Maybe.